trying to make sure.
Hey, we're back. Kill Your Gods podcast, episode 2 of Exodus, the Bible, the Holy Bible. My guest this week, your friend of mine, Dorian Vasquez. How you doing?
What's going on, guys? I'm looking at myself in this. My hair okay?
Your hair's looking good. Your beard is looking good. So, by the way, I said it's Vasquez, right?
Yeah, it is. That's.
Man, there was a girl I went to school with. Actually, I think her bridal party is today. Laura Vasquez. She's the only person I've ever met who pronounced it that way. But now I always pronounce it that way. It's very annoying.
Yeah, no, I don't really know any other Vasquezes or Vasquezes. So I'm like, I don't know if other people just pronounce it differently because I get Vasquez even after I say Vasquez so many times. It used to be like. It's a very easy name joke that I used to do in my act.
Very good. Well, yeah, you're a comedian, and we're doing Comedians Read the Bible. Before we get started, anything you have to promote? Like, yeah, where can we find you on social media? What you got coming up?
My Instagram, Twitter, everything, Fortnite, whatever, is at Dirty Deeds. That's DurrDeedz. Dorian Vasquez on YouTube if you want to just see whatever videos I post. As far as stuff I'm promoting, I'm actually starting my own podcast soon, Deeds Rants. That's going to be on Podbean. First episode is probably going to go out sometime this coming week. I'm debating on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday right now, so just look out for it if you care. I'll be at Helium Comedy Club this Wednesday for Philly's Funniest competition, and the following Wednesday hosting for Dustin Nickerson, a buddy of mine from LA.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. One thing I can tell you from podcasting, podcast fans are kind of annoyed by everybody. It seems like an inordinate amount of people, me being one of them, tend to release new episodes on Monday. So yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, wide open. It's like open mics when everybody just like kind of fucking lumps them all in on one night, and it's like, doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, no, I'm actually trying to take my time because I went through and listened to an episode that I recorded, and I hate myself, so I re-recorded it and I tried to make better. Every time I'm doing it, the quality on the first one's gonna suck because I literally just. It's called Deeds Rants. It's not all going to be just me ranting and raving, but the first one definitely is. You guys should enjoy it. It'll be fun.
Nice. Yo, buddy, real quick, do you have a pair of headphones you can pop in? Because I feel like we're cutting over each other.
Shit. I don't think so.
We can make do if not. But
I say if you want to turn off this AC, maybe that's making a little.
No. It's not that at all. It's the issue of like me and you talking back and forth. So like your computer doesn't know when to take in noise and put it out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. I'm just running off my phone. Let me set this real quick. Let me see if I can find a pair of headphones.
All right, cool. Yeah, if you can, we'll make it work. I should probably edit this out. Will I? I don't know. We're gonna talk about Exodus, you motherfucker, fucking Exodus, yes. God's gonna show his ass, and the Israelites are gonna worship a golden calf, though Moses doesn't want them. He said, why you gotta be worshiping the gold? I'm gonna throw down the only evidence of God. There's a God and the Jews aren't allowed to see him.
Okay, is that better? Sorry, yeah.
Let's talk. Go ahead. You talk, I talk. Exactly. This is exactly what I was hoping for. All right. Now we can talk over each other like a couple of assholes and it won't cut out. What is your religious background?
I don't really have one. My dad was Catholic. My mom is some kind of Protestant. I think she said evangelist at some point. Everybody's a little. She's some kind of Protestant. My two oldest brothers were in the Nation of Islam. I, for a good portion of my life, was either a a non-baptized Christian or just straight up an atheist. Now I have a religious studies degree, like that's my bachelor's degree. But I'm really not at all religious.
But where are you on the what happens to us when we die thing? Do you have a horse in that race?
I don't really care. It's interesting. It's funny that you bring that up because my mom has a very similar belief that I do, where it's just like, yeah, nothing happens. You're just dead. And I'm like, Mom, you believe in God. And she's like, yeah, but what do you think? I'm going to turn into a fucking ghost? Like, she's like, nothing happens. You just die.
Man, I cannot wrap my head around non-existence. And I know the thing they try to say is like, do you remember being alive during the Renaissance? Because you were dead then and you seem to be doing okay. Like, yeah, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, that sounds like the smug prickness you get from like an atheists back in the Dawkins years.
Oh yeah, well, dude, what's funny is like you can follow. It's hilarious what like what a douchebag snake eating its tail YouTube is. YouTube and Reddit, because like they actually have the whole eras sorted out. Where started out where like a lot of the people who are big on YouTube now for like thought or philosophy type shit, they all started out as atheists, but now they literally call it Atheist Plus, where all these people who started out with like atheist web channels are all now like, talking about the gender spectrum and the sexuality spectrum and trans rights, etc., etc. Don't put your head back. These are important topics, Dorian.
I'm all for that, but at the same time, just for fuck's sake, it sounds like you ran out of one thing to talk about. You started running to another. I mean, I had nothing against that. I mean, yeah. At some point, I'm going to run out of things to rant about, and I got to start talking about things I like on D-Trans. I'm only 2 episodes recorded so far.
Like, I had this bit. I tried getting it off the ground. It never worked. And I'm not saying this is like, people are too sensitive, but like maybe it's too heady a topic. But just talking about like non-binary people, and I want everybody to live comfortably, that however they want to, but like I said, I have a little bit of annoyance where I feel like some non-binary people, it's not that they want to be non-binary, they want to tear down the entire notion of gender in general. I think a binary that works for a large majority of people maybe don't need to get rid of that. And I tried to come up with a joke of like, well, it's like non-binary people are like alcoholics. Like, I can handle my gender. I can dig deep into my gender all day, all night. You get a little bit of gender and you fucking lose your car and you wake up in a dirt lot somewhere. I get it. You can't handle your gender. I can. So just leave me my gender. And go figure. That didn't work. So on stage.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't really. It's funny. That's another one I don't even have a stake in the race in. I dated one non-binary person. I'm like, I don't even know what that makes me. I haven't really put much thought into it. Bro, I'm just chilling. Like every day. I mean, you know the person I dated too. So it was just like, it's a lot of like, well, you need to think about that. No, it's like, I haven't ever thought about that.
I actually don't know who this person is, honestly.
I mean, you do.
Text me. But well, not right now because we're doing that. We got away from what we were talking about. Oh yeah, just religion stuff. I don't know. I still ascribe to, I hope for with no evidence, reincarnation. Just because the whole idea, I don't know, recycling, I would hope would be a great grand thing in the universe, and this little fucking bubble inside my head that makes me.
Yeah, man, it makes me, when you put it that way, it kind of makes me hope that Hinduism is right. I mean, if the same people invented racism, understood reincarnation, that would be sick. Like that would be...
Hinduism with the caste system.
The caste system. It's a dumb joke. I'm terribly grasping at straws.
I'm actually. Does that come out of the religion? I mean, a lot of other racism does. So
it doesn't. But you can almost argue that if reincarnation is a thing, being reincarnated somewhere lower in the caste system, or even to another thing, is part of karma. Like so.
Yeah, well, that would be my hope. My whole thing with reincarnation, it's not even necessarily I want to live forever. Like, I want to work my way up the ladder. I want to
Yeah.
I'm in my Charmander phase. I'm hoping I can make the Charizard someday. For me,
Yeah, man. I personally don't understand it because isn't Krishna blue?
yeah. Hey, you know, they're a winter. That's the colors that work for them, so they go heavy on the blue. But for me, it's like there's just so much in the world to experience, and I would like, you know, I'd like to be a fucking black lady. I'd like to be an Australian Aborigine. I'll be a dog a few times. I mean, if anything like that exists, we all got to be bugs for like a few generations. Like you live out like 1,000.
Okay, I feel now I understood what you're saying about that. Like, okay,
yeah.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Just, yeah, you live out a few thousand life cycles as a bug. They don't live long. They all die within like 6 months. And then you get to come back as like something neat. You know where that also comes from? You remember I dated a handicapped girl for a bit. And I met some extremely handicapped people through her. And unfortunately, I just kept having the thought like, shit, if we only have like one, if it's just one and done, and that's the fucking card, that's the card you pull. Like, could you imagine your one and only lifetime and like, oh, but your body's fucked up. You'll never get to have sex. You'll never climb a mountain. You'll never go for a walk by yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of atheists, they kind of ignore the fact that like, oh, if your life is shit from jump and not like, you know, my parents got divorced when I was 6 and I had to have 2 Christmases and they were both half sad. Like, no, if your life's kind of shitty, maybe you would be a little more optimistic that like maybe there's something else.
I don't know, probably. I mean, that would make sense. I mean, my family's from, you know, a relatively poor country, so it makes sense how religious they were, even up until like a couple years ago, even past now. Like, was it forever? Everybody thought my grandfather stole people's souls. He was just a hunter. Like, that's a.
Hold on, they thought he stole people's souls. You want to?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a legend, quote unquote, of my grandfather in Belize, where they literally started this thing about like how he every Easter he'd go into certain towns and steal souls to deliver them to the devil. That was like a legend they invented around him.
What the fuck was it about your grandpa that they had to like Slender Man him?
I have no clue. I know he was a hunter. I know he had like way too many kids for his own good. Yeah, he was like the Wilt Chamberlain of Belize. Like,
he needed all those souls to fill his progeny. They were born soulless.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I know, like, because of hunting, like clearly there's like accidents and stuff that happen around that because people. I mean, if you're hunting jaguar, someone's gonna get hurt. So there's another story about like, you know, that he got away with killing a man because he was in a jail cell and they heard like rumblings. When they went to go look, he was gone, but there was just a pile of bananas. It's like,
fuck.
Yeah, it's some weird shit, man. I would love to be able to compile all that and put it out as a thing, but that means having to talk to family I don't like.
Yeah. That's pretty gnarly having like a soul stealing grandpa though. Did you ever meet the guy? What was he like?
No, I never met him. He died way before I got to know him. There's this article in Sports Illustrated about him. Like Sports Illustrated from the 70s, and it's literally an interview with him. It's like this dude is clearly like kind of whacked. Mm-hmm. Like he's like 40 and he's like walking into this interview with his 16-year-old girlfriend. This is the 70s, and then he's like, they're asking him like, so I heard you had over 40 kids. He's like, I have 20 that I know of.
God,
it's like, yeah, and it's just him talking about like weird shit he does. Like he will literally he's literally talking about like how he just like shuts his eyes and walks down like busy streets or walks down steps with his eyes closed just to like so he can learn how to anticipate things.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know. He was a strange guy.
I think your grandpa might be my golden calf. I think I would have followed that man to the ends of the earth.
Hey man, I got one picture of him. It's just sepia tone photo of him with a dead jaguar. I'm like, yeah, that's a man. That's a fucking man. I'm allergic to cats. I don't know how we did it.
Oh, how far we have fallen as a species. All right. So I guess let's get into this. I mentioned before the second half of Exodus, pretty weird. Pretty weird.
It gets like once you get past the commandments, it gets strange. I didn't get to this part, but I do remember from like because I took like Jewish studies class, which like there's like parts where like Moses just like falls on his face because everybody's like talking too much or something. But man, the half that I read, I'm slowly realizing that Moses at this point was 90, and after the one cool thing he did, he's just kind of like walked in the desert the rest of his life and done nothing else.
Yeah, he's a little bit of an Al Bundy, where like that's right. In high school, I freed the Jews, split the Dead Seas, and scored 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and I've done nothing since.
Yeah, I've won the Heisman for freeing us or whatever. Like it's just, I mean, it almost reads like like I think I even said this to you in a text. It reads like a kid, like kids who don't want to sit there with their weird, like old racist grandfather, but their parents are like, look, he's a war hero and he doesn't have anyone to talk to. Why don't you just listen to him? You might learn something.
Yeah, he's wise. Don't listen to what he says about, women being filthy and shit like that. But he's got some good things in there.
Dude, this like I think I got through the slavery part and I forgot about how like detailed the slavery rules are. It's like if you have a slave, you can't have it more than like so many years, which is cool. Like actually, it's very progressive.
It says specifically an Israelite slave. I mean, if you have a different slave, he's kind of on his own. But like an Israelite slave, like you can only have him for 6 years. But
it is that part does read a little like you almost live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's like, okay, you get to have any other slave and that's property. But an Israelite slave, we were slaves. You got to give us a chance. We're people.
Yeah. Well, I would think though, I mean, in order to become a slave, you need to be conquered. So like, how are you enslaving somebody of your own race unless they fucked up?
You got to read ahead to when you get to the stories of Solomon. That's where you get all those.
Okay.
Like David and Solomon and all that. That's where you get all the. That's when the empire comes to be its own thing.
All right. So
right now, you're in the first like, for lack of a better way of putting it, you're in the first like 50 terms of Civilization 6. Like now they're just going to find their land.
Good. Okay. So let's get through some of this. So where we left off, we just heard the commandments. They have not been presented yet. We'll go through those in detail. We get some basically extra commandments referred to as judgments. Like we just said, if you buy a Hebrew servant, they have to set them free at year 7. His wife gets to leave unless the wife was given by the masters. Then the male can be free, but the wife and the children are still slaves. Again, this is the
and it's like the one thing I remember from that is like unless the husband slave wants to prove that he loves them, then he has to stay a slave. I don't know. It's like a weird.
Yeah. It's like if he's good enough for that lady, he'll stay and be a slave.
Dude, it's like, dude, this is way too much. I don't know. Even I'm sitting there like, dude, I don't even read the iTunes contract.
Yeah.
This. Most people, I think it made me realize. I think most people skip these parts of the Bible.
I 100%. I've realized doing this podcast that there would be less Christians if they read the Bible because this is insanity in a lot of this. Like,
very few people actually read the entire Bible outside of the 4 Jesus books, and the judgmental ones.
I mean, well, it goes to show that the people who study this part the hardest would be, Jews
actually
studying the Torah, and they seem
like
to
Jesuit Catholics and stuff. Yeah.
Right. But like they read this big time and yet they seem to like live pretty decent. Like, yeah, we don't pay attention to that part kind of things. They'll forever look for the truth. Like this has to have a good meaning in it somewhere. Let's spend thousands of years on that.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I can say about it is this is progress compared to what they came from. Because when you read the first part and you realize, oh yeah, we were slaves. They like Pharaoh literally destroyed everything and tossed our babies into the water and whatnot. To them leaving and being like, okay, slaves, but only for such and such amount of years. You can't go past that. If you go past that, you're being extra.
Yeah, I can deal with
definitely
part-time slavery.
Yeah, it's definitely a step in progress. It's like compared to now, it's like, oh, good Lord, like you guys still had slaves. You were slaves. Why would you do that? It's like, yeah, why would you not have slaves? We got to build our own empire.
Yeah.
What are we going to pay for this?
What,
we got nothing.
Am I supposed to do it myself? I'm 130 years old, for God's sake.
Yeah, dude, like realizing Moses at this point was in his like hundreds or 90s or whatever. It was just insane.
Yeah, that's still one of the things that annoys me the most, because like I know people who genuinely believe in this. Like, yeah, people lived longer in biblical times because they weren't tainted by the world and they didn't have antibiotics yet and exercise and clean water. Like, I think it's kind of off.
Arguably, the world was purer. I mean, there also was like no, I don't know. To be fair, I don't know if there was no like petroleum and shit. You know, there was volcanoes and whatnot.
I think there was petroleum. We just didn't have access to it yet. It wasn't used for any purpose.
No, it was still dinosaur bones at that point.
Yeah. So we get a segment that's very pro capital punishment. He who smiteth a man shall be put to death. Also worthy of death, killing either parent, kidnapping, some forms of slavery. This one was surprising. If you curseth your mother or father, death.
Oh, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do not question. Do not do, dude. That let me know that Moses had kids who were like, "Fuck you, Dad."
But that is one of the things about the Bible is that like how much.
Like, I wish I could kill him.
Well, we just mentioned how like he did all this shit for them. He freed them, took him across the Red Sea. He must have been an asshole because people are still like, "Oh, thank you, Moses," and then 3 pages later, they're like, "Yo, fuck that guy. Let's go worship somebody else."
Dude, it is literally like if I hate to put it in comedy standards, but it's literally somebody who did one cool thing once, and then it's like a little party you as an open micer is just going like, wait, why are they still getting booked? They haven't done anything to, or even, yeah, like I said, like fucking, I won the Heisman. It's very Al Bundy. That's actually a more interesting way to put it.
I can think of that as a few rooms in comedy as like, oh yeah, some headliners came through here. We were all drunk and didn't pay attention to them, but they were here. So we're going to lord that over you with equipment that doesn't work. Because we were hot shit 9 years ago.
Yeah, some guy who was live on Dangerfields in the 80s, like doing the C rooms now. It's kind of like, oh man, this guy who like talks down to everybody. I don't know. You could tell I've bombed in a bunch of C rooms with these guys before. It's like, no, this is just me being an asshole. I'm just salty.
Right. But yeah, the whole thing of curse your mother or father, it'll be death. I think back to my teen years, like, oh, so anybody who's ever listened to Korn, Stained, or an emo band, they are dead. Yeah, just a bloody pile of Jenkos and dreads and eye makeup. If a man causes a woman to miscarry, the husband gets to do what he wants with them. So one, kind of okay with that. Two, how does he cause her to miscarry? Does he like throw her down the pyramid, or
if a man causes a woman to miscarry? Yeah, that's Jesus.
Maybe these are swinger rules. If you're fucking my wife, which we've agreed to, and you go too ham and she miscarries, then we gotta have a talk.
Yeah, when did I accidentally punch her or run her over with a mule or whatever?
I got carried away. I was closing my eyes thinking of a golden calf.
Yeah. I was building this calf. She got too close. She got hit with the piece of calf or whatever.
These things happen. Funnily enough, I thought this was Hammurabi's code. I hadn't realized this was a Bible. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. There in plain English. Hand for a hand, foot for a foot.
Like, yeah, Jesus. Thank God for that. Thank God for Jesus with you're fine.
Yeah, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. It's like, maybe an eyelash. Maybe don't be such a little bitch about it.
Yeah, what if it was an accident? Stop being an asshole.
Exactly. Now, there's no such thing as accidents. Everybody has it coming. If your ox kills somebody, you're put to death, which I guess makes sense because that's like, your ox would be like your pickup truck. If your pickup truck fucking ran over somebody, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say. See, I equated it to like, dude, now we just put the dog to death if it bites somebody.
Yeah, we haven't come that far. That's still such a bummer. Like what was it the other day? Oh yeah, my mother was trying to get. She has like 2 pit bulls, and she was trying to get somebody to come by the house because somebody was coming to work on something. And both my brothers in the text thread were just like, just let them come in with the dogs. Like, all it will take is this guy freaking out and one of the dogs nipping him a little bit, and then that's it. Like, fucking dead dog. Nobody needs that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
If a thief is killed, no revenge allowed. That makes sense. You know, if you're
it makes sense. That's a law. That is literally a law we still keep today. But if somebody breaks into your house, you can technically shoot them.
Yeah, well, this is usually the fucking like Fox News conspiracy theory. I think everybody has heard since they were like, since the 90s, that they all had a cousin or an aunt somewhere. Like, a guy was breaking into their house and he fell and broke his ankle and he sued my aunt and then he won. So you can't trust the courts at all.
I don't know if that story is actually true. That's the thing. That's the equivalent of the guy smoked weed one time and he thought he could fly like Superman, so he jumped to his death. I'm like, where is this fucking guy? Like, where is he buried? Where is this article?
Oh no, that thief fell on a knife story is very popular. I think everybody's uncle has heard that. The same way the illegal immigrants are ruining everything somehow. Oh,
that's hilarious that you mentioned that.
I'm thinking of the same uncles arguing about similar things.
Yeah, no, it's another comic actually brought up a great point about that. It's like, we got to build that wall and steal our jobs. It's like, yeah, guy in Pennsylvania. You know how far you are from that border?
Well, it's funny.
I think that was Shane Gillis.
Nice.
Sorry, that was a Shane Gillis joke.
That's okay. We can put that out there. I was looking up the 14 signs of fascism, which I'm sure people like, oh, that's liberal bullshit. Like, it was written in like 1935, so I don't think it was
written when it actually made sense.
Yeah,
that this exists. Like, can we let this? Yeah.
Well, I do
this philosophy go extinct.
I do still see some of the logic in it, because one of the signs there, and I see this with a lot of the demonization of illegal immigrants, is the enemy is both inferior yet wildly dangerous. So it's like you need to have it both ways. Like, well, they're not as good as us, and that's why they're out competing us. And that's
the case. America's been fascist since day one.
Yeah. Yes, it has. Everybody's uncle is fascist. It's just when it gets into the courts. So yeah, again, nothing on the meaning of life or spiritual fulfillment, just a whole lot on like the protocols of the death penalty and like trading goats and shit.
That's why I was like, okay, I can none of this applies to me, and it doesn't apply it's that part of the Bible that, like, it would be cool if they updated that like they want to do with everything else, where it's like, all right, well, why don't we apply this to people today? They were like, if your car hits somebody, and Moses said, if your Chevy Silverado hits a pregnant lady.
Yeah. Yea, if you comment upon a status without liking it, God will smite thee. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Again, they talk about witches a lot.
Yeah, no, the sorceress one, that definitely threw me off. I was like, wait, I thought we never believed in any of this. Like, I thought that, like,
well, no, this is actually this
specific. They're witches.
Yeah, no, this specific line is the justification for all that Puritan witch burning shit. Thou shalt not suffer which. How do they define a witch? Like dabbling in magic? If I pull a quarter from behind your ear, am I fucking warlock?
This is only the second book of the Bible, so it's like, yo, we've heard of witches or a sorceress. Sorcery, whatever, but there's absolutely no definite definition of one. It's like, so yeah, just anybody doing anything that somebody doesn't understand could get them killed. That's insane.
So yeah, I'm looking at some other ones here. First Chronicles 10:13. Saul died because he was ungrateful to the Lord. He did not keep the word of the Lord and even consulted a medium for guidance. So yes, instead of praying to God, he went and talked to a psychic. So
yeah, which basically means he went and got advice from an old lady.
Yeah.
Who probably just needed a piece of bread and was like, "I'll talk." I mean, you go listen.
Yes, listen to your elders, unless they're like showing a bit too much cleavage or something.
Yeah.
For 1 Samuel 15:23, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
Again, all the talk about witchcraft, no definition on what witchcraft is. That's what's again that's probably the one thing that bugs me about the whole thing. Nobody can decide what which, like, I guess everyone's like, you know what it is back then. If she weighs less than a duck,
Yeah.
she's a witch.
God. Oh, very interesting thing to put right into. This is one of those things that, like, you do. I know the hack joke is always like, oh, all the stuff in the 10 Commandments, they don't have don't rape, they don't have don't slavery. I realize it's a hack joke at this point, but they have a point, because right here they have, whosoever lieth with a beast shall surely be put to death.
Dude, oh my God. That one threw me off, just given, like, I was like, okay, so don't fuck animals.
Yeah, we can't define witchcraft, but then there, as plain as day, like, stop fucking the goats.
Yeah, don't diddle kids is totally not in there.
Yeah, Zebekiah, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah, don't diddle kids don't diddle goats, kids, but don't diddle like children. Sorry, that was terrible.
No, that was great. So yeah, the funny thing is, I forget which book it is. I think it might be Leviticus, which would be coming up next. The big justification for Christianity being anti-gay is in that one, which is thou shalt not lie with a man. But there are some people who believe that is a mistranslation, and the actual translation is thou shalt not lie with young boys.
Yeah, that is that's actually I brought up the Rashi in just not on the podcast conversation. That's something that they actually discuss in that. Same thing with the whole.
Tell us what the Rashi is. I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't remember entirely, but this is something that they study in like you read the Tanakh when you study the Bible, and like basically Jewish version of Old Testament Torah, blah blah blah. Tanakh is first 5 chapters, I believe. I haven't talked about any of this in like almost 10 years, so this is a lot for me. The Rashi translation is literally I think he was like a Jewish philosopher or rabbi or something who translated it into what it actually means in Jewish culture. So that's that when it actually says like don't lay with young boys opposed to don't lay with another man is very specific to the Rashi, I believe. The other one is like the whole Sodom and Gomorrah story, where they talk about send the 2 angels out so we can have sex so that
we may know them, and Lot offers his virgin daughters instead.
What that actually is meant to translate to supposedly is actually it's not about that these guys are gay and just trying to bang some dudes. It's literally the whole thing is an extreme metaphor for lack of hospitality. And by that, what it is these 2 strangers who just came to town, this entire group, like basically a mob of men, are trying to gang rape them. And it's meant to serve this is like, I guess in modern times it can be translated as, instead of lack of hospitality, it's almost the equivalent of prejudice, where it's like you're basically trying to do something to damage these people you don't know
just because they're strangers.
So it's more about for lack of a better word, fucking up strangers, and it is actually like, hey, send them out here, we want to be gay with them. We don't want those broads. It's not like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, hey, it is completely outside of religion. It is a very mammalian response to hump something for dominance. So
and that's really what it is the and that's kind of what it boils down to, because like it's like it's like when we talk about like prison rape and all that. Like it's not because somebody likes you or whatever. It's literally just because someone wants to assert their dominance over this person.
Dude, I had a fucking feud with a guy over a girl like years and years and years ago, and I swear to God, I had a dream one night that I like fucking humbled him, like fucked him up the butt just to show him what was what. And I woke up like, ooh, I did not know I had that inside of me. Good to know.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I'm gonna show you what it's like. That's hilarious. I also I could be completely butchering that. I haven't taken a Jewish studies class or a like old school Catholicism Bible class in so long, so I could be. I just know that like if I ever go back and read the Bible now, I'm like, okay, I'm reading it with Rashi translation, so I'm reading like the Tanakh rather than the actual like King James version of the Bible, just because that one makes more sense. It's translated by the people who actually have more stake in the writings of it.
Yeah, I just coming at it from a Christian perspective, I read King James just because I feel like that's the one people are reading that's like fucked up so much of civilization.
Well, yeah, it's because literally it had King James of, I forget, was that England or Germany or wherever?
I think it was England.
It's literally a king of like a medieval king who was like, I need this translated to suit
my needs. Yeah,
my kingdom.
Ooh, I would love a Trump Bible. A Trump edited Bible.
And that's the thing is like that's literally what a lot of that is. It's just whoever was in charge is law. Whatever they say is law. So if they want this changed, and it's like unfortunately religion was the other like high power that gave the king power, because it's like, oh, this is a position. Being a king is a position held by someone appointed from God.
Right, so the divine right of kings.
And it's kind of like, yeah, well, I have divine right, so I should be allowed to translate this because I'm God's baby boy.
All the more I would love a Trump version. Whosoever lieth with a beast shall be put to death, including Rosie O'Donnell, that fat pig.
Yeah, and a beast includes the gays, the non-binary. It's just anyone the age. Like that's actually really funny. Trump translation of the Bible sounds hilarious.
Thou shalt not commit adultery without paying off the whore. All right.
If thy whore charges more than she initially said, you get to disparage her name and make her do stand-up comedy in C rooms forever.
God, I forgot she was doing comedy. Good old Stormy doing comedy.
Old Stormy.
You know what I heard? I heard that when she started doing comedy, the bulk of crowds came out there were like Trump fans who were almost like, yeah, I want to see the chick he fucked.
Yeah, it's like I want to touch what Mein Führer touched. It's kind of it's like this very weird. I hate to throw it like that, but it's very much that kind of like, oh, it's so fanboyish.
Well, I read a whole book once called Super Sense that I loved. I actually need to track down a copy of it that got into like why humans believe like the magical thinking we have. And one of them, they talk about like transfer of greatness, which is literally like, why do you care about having something that somebody famous autographed or wore? It's because we have some deep, like nonsensical belief deep in our head that like, if I could just touch the tools of this God king that I love, surely that power has transferred from him to the tool and will transfer into me as well.
I can,
and that's what I mean as far as Stormy Daniels' pussy.
No, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, that's hilarious. I mean, I definitely like, I'm a dumb nerd. I definitely like somewhere I have an autographed picture of Captain Kirk. So I'm like, holy fuck, I got Captain Kirk's picture. I don't need that. I don't fucking need a Captain Kirk picture. Yeah, I have an autographed Bruce Campbell book, and I'm like, holy shit,
same.
This is the greatest thing in my life. And it's like, yeah, he sells these.
Yeah, that was still nice. I got to meet him. That's why I always valued the picture more than anything else, just because I feel like you get to look at the picture and just be reminded of the event, you know?
Yeah.
God.
But yeah, no, I totally understand. Like definitely, I did that one year at a Comic-Con where I did go and I went like autograph hunting and all that. And then I went one day with my niece and nephew, and then we decided to go for the second day, like for the weekend. And then the second day, we just all kind of realized this is it kind of sucks. Like, these people are awful. Everybody's waiting in line to spend like $50 to get like some actor who hasn't worked in like years, their autograph.
Well, there were two I did that were really cool. These were at the Monster Manias in Cherry Hill. One was the wrestler Roddy Piper, because he was like the friendliest guy. Literally everybody who met him, like, he talked to you for 10 minutes and he was just awesome.
That's how I felt about Ernie Hudson when I met him.
Hell yeah. Yes, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
And the other one, it was this was pre-Walking Dead, and this was the first con they'd ever done. The fucking Boondock Saints. So... shit! So like, what's his name? I was gonna say not Mark Norman, Norman Reedus. Yeah, Powder and Powder, Sean Patrick Flannery. But
he was Powder. Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Yes, he was. But so me and my girlfriend at the time went to meet them, and she was such a big fan. And Norman Reedus tried really hard to fuck my girlfriend. She didn't, but then she went and cheated on me. She went and cheated on me with her ex. Like the next week, like I would have been far happier if you'd fucked Daryl. You know, he wasn't Daryl yet, but like that I would have understood.
At that point, he was Scud from Blade 2. You fuck Scud.
Yeah. He was a slave too, right? He was a slave to the vampires. He had that like.
Yeah, I'm a slave. I'm a vampire slave. I'd rather be a pet than fucking work for Blade.
Yeah. Two more years and I'll be set free. He'll keep my wife and shit, but fair trade.
That's hilarious that you bring up Powder. Dude, I haven't seen that movie in years, but the one scene I remember was because you know how they get like really artistic about his like naivete or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like, there's this one scene where he's like in a gym and he's looking over at this guy and it's like a built dude. And he's like, I don't know if he's showering or if he's just glistening sweat. So he's just like looking at him and just appreciating this dude's body or whatever. And then the guy's like, oh, you fucking, like, he just immediately gets into homophobia. So they take him outside, they beat the shit out of him, they throw him in the mud, and I swear to God, this movie is supposed to take place in like the middle of like rural Kansas or whatever, where it's supposed to be like all these like dumb, racist, homophobic white dudes. And they're like, let me get some color on you. And they're just like throwing mud on them. And I was like, that is the exact opposite of what you guys do.
Yeah.
I remember laughing really hard. I'm like, shouldn't you guys be worshiping him as your God? He is the whitest one.
I was gonna say that's like the exact inverse of American History X, where they're like pouring milk on a black woman. Let's see if we can whiten you up a little bit. And then
man, of that whole movie, that's the one scene I literally have to turn away from. Like I can't watch that part. It's like they're basically waterboarding her with milk. It's like, eesh, this is too much.
Well, I mean, I can't watch Powder. You know about the director of Powder, right?
No, I don't think I've seen the whole movie. I've seen that one scene. Is he like the Jeepers Creepers guy where he's actually a diddler?
It's the actual director of Jeepers Creepers, Victor Salva. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. If those of you unaware listening, Victor Salva was a director. He directed a movie called The Funhouse, I believe it was, in the 80s, and just raped the shit out of the 12-year-old star of the movie. He gets out of prison, and Disney basically says like, "Hey, you want to direct Powder?" And if you watch it, there's like a lot of weird, like, the innocence of a boy, and then like it wasn't until like Jeepers Creepers 3 where everyone was finally like, why are we giving this guy like this guy's
clearly using like
I know so many people.
He's pre-Me Too movement who were like, he was like pre-Me Too movement of like people like slowly coming to realization, oh yeah, we need to get this guy the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the insanity that he ever worked again. And okay, the last thing he did was Jeepers Creepers 3 in 2017. And that was when people were finally like, guys, it wasn't Funhouse, it was Clown House.
It really doesn't help that he looks like Ed Gein. I mean, not Ed Gein, fucking John Wayne Gacy. I looked at a picture, I'm like, I thought that was John Wayne Gacy. And it's like, no, that's Jeepers Creepers director. I didn't know his name.
He does.
I didn't realize that was the same guy. I never saw Powder, but I remember that. I remember like 2 scenes from, and it was that just from like scrolling through illegal cable as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Well, then, I mean, there's at least 2 cool scenes in that movie. There's when he magnetizes all the forks, and you don't remember that one?
I didn't watch the movie. I remember 2 scenes because so I remember that specific scene because I think we were just like flipping through channels and it was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, this is that Powder movie that I kept seeing trailers for.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw that scene and I think we were just like, all right, this is dumb. And we just switched to like Looney Tunes or whatever.
Okay. We're going completely off the rails of our Bible podcast, but now I want to show you this scene from Powder.
Okay.
All right. Can you see?
I can see it.
Okay, cool. Let me turn the volume down. So basic gist. This is one of the Boondock Saints. He you gotta wear his spoon. Oh yeah, he makes him wear a spoon. You know what's funny is he actually looks quite a bit like the singer from the Presidents of the United States of America, who were popular at that time. He's just paler. So yeah, for whatever reason, one of this guy's powers is like magnetism.
He looks like the dude from Prodigy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So he can drag all the forks and shit together.
Okay, see, I never saw this. So wait, he has superpowers?
Yes, he has like they're weird. They're like magnetism. So here is the other one that everybody remembers is the deer scene, which I thought was pretty gnarly. So
I've honestly never seen this movie outside of that one, literally that one scene. And then I think we just like decided, all right, this seems dumb, and we just turned it off.
All right, so this is the scene I always found fucking cool. Keep in mind, this movie came out when I was like 8 years old. Prime.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is 95.
Yeah, prime age for the director to fucking abuse me. But so they come across a hunter who has just shot this deer.
On out of here before he gets himself kicked.
And what Powder does, he transfers the feeling and fear of death from the deer into the hunter who just shot him.
Yeah, he's like, I forget, he's like an empath or something, right? That's this whole thing.
Yes, he's a witch is really what it is. But yeah, like, you know, passing the feeling and the fear of like dying to the fucking hunter is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, this is like he's like, it's like John Coffey. If he didn't heal people, he just like fucking.
Yes, but pretty much exactly that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish I saw this. See, just looking at that, these random superpower things, I'm like, how is this not a Stephen King thing? Like, is this a comic book? Is this like?
I have no idea
I don't know
what the origin
about,
is.
This is just some guys fucking like, I wrote this thing and some studio was like, we have to make this.
Apparently, I don't know if they saw like franchise potential. I have no clue.
Damn, I feel bad that I'll be like fucking I'll be supporting a diddler by watching it, but now I'm like, damn, I got to check this movie out.
I mean, I don't think he gets any of the money anymore. Maybe I have no idea.
If Boondock Saints guy gets the money, then I'll definitely watch it.
Yes. Sean Patrick Flannery needs to work. Go hire him.
Yeah, it's like, I'll rent the movie. It's the equivalent of one autograph.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back into this. Jump around a bit. So this one I found weird. Exodus 22:28. Thou shalt not revile the gods. So this confuses me as like a monotheistic religion because it almost seems like there are other gods. You're just not supposed to pay attention to them.
Yeah, that tripped me out. It's very much. Oh my god! Like fucking God is just Mitzi Shore in the 70s. Like, if you go to the fucking other comedy club, you're fired from here.
Yep, exactly.
Like, it's very. Yeah, no, I read that, and that's exactly what I thought. Like, this implies that there is more than one God.
We also have no one can go near God except Moses. Moses goes up on Mount Sinai for 40 days and nights. God lays out
what way to become hacks on that one.
Oh yeah,
fucking old 40 days and nights, the old standard.
Yeah, very classic. Rule of threes, 40 days and nights. Just drop it in wherever.
God, it's nice to know that Moses grew up to be a hack serum, fucking the conduit of God. Like
Yeah, doing the same old material. How about fucking
he comes down from the mount. These kids today are too fucking sensitive. It's like, give it up for the troops. Am I right? I don't.
God. God lays out what should be used to build an ark, a bunch of linen and gold, and real gaudy. It sounds like a Persian's custom car.
Yeah, dude. God wants a lot of shit from people who've been running through the desert, previously slaves. It's like, wait,
starving has to be manna coming from heaven, but he wants them to like get all this oil and honey and fucking goat and fibers and shit. Like, you can't just go down to the fucking craft store, Yahweh.
Nobody ever thought, dickhead, why don't you get it? You made it.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put it together. You provide.
Why don't you just pull it out of the earth? Why do you?
Well, also the fact he goes through all this on the ark to put together, and then just wants it all covered with a veil so no one else can look at it. They spend 3 fucking chapters describing how intricate and lovely this will be, further making me think that God is just like a big gay festive queen, and he just wants like this. I want this big beautiful thing, and don't you look at it, you'll make it dirty.
God is God is Joel Schumacher. He just puts his nipples on a calf.
Yep. I designed these sweet robes for Aaron. He's gonna look so cute. If he doesn't wear these near the ark, I will smite him. Actually, I'm doing more like a Harvey Fierstein. Like, darling, you're not doing it right.
He's like, oh my God, God has to call. God's like, oh my God, I didn't do it right. I have to call my therapist. I have to call my mother. I'll call my therapist.
Oh God. I don't know I don't know what you're picturing as far as the robes, these great ceremonial robes. I'm full on picturing like Earth, Wind, and Fire in the 70s, like the fucking onesies they all wore.
Oh my God, I'm not gonna. I was like somewhere in between that and like whenever I think of the robe thing, I always think of like the fucking hat, like the ones you had to wear in church. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, it couldn't possibly be that cheap. Like, it has to be something a little bit more. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Gold and whatnot.
The fucking drapery is just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, also ridiculous considering how much they speak against witches. They're also like, we also want you to burn rams and spread their blood and shit. The exact quote: "Then shalt thou kill the ram, take of his blood, put it upon the right ear tip of Aaron and the right ear of his sons, and the thumb of their right hand and great toe." Like,
yeah, this sounds like the intricacies of a spell.
Yeah, this a little Eye of Newt.
Yeah, Eye of Newt. Yeah, you always want more Eye of Newt. If it was up to you, the soup will be nothing but nude eyes.
Oh, what the fuck is that from? Oh,
that's a Simpsons quote.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Treehouse of Horror, baby.
The reason they're putting this whole thing together is that the ark is basically where God is going to live and talk to Moses. Like, he's just going to live in there like kind of Jambi the Genie from like Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, God shows up all mecha like a high. It's like, you know what's crazy about this is nobody thought to question whether or not Moses is just clearly freeloading.
Oh, yeah. This whole time, it's like
Moses has been basically living rent-free for fucking years.
Yeah, and all because he's the in-between guy to the big man who nobody else is allowed to see or talk to because your brains will totally blow up. So meanwhile, because Moses hadn't anticipated God being such a prima donna, the Israelites are waiting at the bottom of the mountain for a month and change. And because, hey, gotta worship something, they ask Aaron to make them a new god. So he says, "Give me your golden earrings." And they smelt a golden calf, which they will then begin to worship. And I'm going to share screen again real quick.
Gotta love Moses probably coming like, Aaron, what the fuck?
Aaron rolls over on the Israelites and be like, "They made me," basically.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
Aaron,
I remember this one specifically. This is the one thing I remember about this is I think Moses, like, he's trying to like reason with them, and they talk so much that he just like lays on the floor with his face down or something.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one specifically because my Jewish studies professor, who was also a rabbi, she She basically recreated the Moses move, and it was so weird.
Yeah, well, God also, he comes down, Moses comes down with the 10 commandments that were written by the finger of God, and he's so pissed off by the calf that he smashes the only, evidence of anything God ever touched. Like, what is so special about that calf? Like, does it have Bluetooth? Does fucking whiskey come out of its asshole? What? Like, what about this makes you go like, there's my new God?
I love the idea that like nobody could... But oh my God, like it's one of these things of people were so like, everybody was so like, no one thought maybe we should just think for ourselves. Like that literally even Aaron, couldn't say, Aaron was trying to save face because he couldn't say that.
Not a philosopher in the bunch. Not one.
Not a single one. But I like the idea that Aaron has to be so in with like whatever grift Moses is pulling that he's like, well, I mean, if I tell him, I can't. I know, like he has to explain to management later on, like he's in an HR meeting, like, well, you built a golden calf, and then he has to like present his case as to why he shouldn't get fired. He's like, look, I could have done that, or I could have told them think for themselves. If I told them think for themselves, they would have killed you. What do you like? Come on.
None of these people like you. They talk shit all the time.
Yeah. He's like, oh, we split the sea. It was low tide.
My shoes were still plenty wet, Moses. Also, just because so many right-wing people are Christians and they believe in Christianity and they believe in the Bible and God and Yahweh, for no reason whatsoever, let's pull up this golden statue of Trump that was at the CPAC meeting this year.
Dude, I remember the first time I ever did acid was when I was still in Columbus, Ohio, and I remember I passed by a Buckeyes store because I fucking hate college towns for that. They literally had a calf, like a porcelain or golden calf. I forget what color, but it was like a very shiny thing, and they just draped it with Buckeye shit, and I was like, this is literally what God hates.
This is idolatry. This is 100% idolatry. If you look at a fucking American flag and feel anything, you are guilty of idolatry. I mean, fuck, so many Catholics have statues of the Virgin Mary that they fucking pray to. That's double idolatry because number one, you're praying to Virgin Mary, not Jesus or God. And number two, you're not praying to the Virgin Mary, you're praying to a fucking statue of the Virgin Mary as if she's an ark and living inside of it. That bitch don't have fucking fine linen and nothing.
Virgin Mary did one thing. Fucking come on.
Yeah.
You know all the things Jesus did? Like Moses, he had to collect all those frogs. He at least did shit. You know what I mean?
Took him so long. That's funny thinking of the 10 plagues of Egypt more as like a Home Alone situation where he has to gather all these locusts and shit.
It's like, fuck, how am I gonna get all these locusts here? We'll throw corn in their house or something. Oh fuck, I didn't mean for there to be frog. Oh fuck, let the frogs go. He just yes-anded his plague.
Yea, and the rivers turned to blood, and frogs rained from the sky, and then Pharaoh did trip on a bunch of marbles and got hit in the face with a paint can.
That's hilarious. He's like over here, free my people, you dumb horse's ass.
Get down. Hey, if anything God has said is in Home Alone, get down on your knees and tell me you love me. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's Home Alone 2 specifically. Jesus.
Okay, God immediately finds out about the golden calf and is pissed because he made this beautiful ark for everyone and designed wardrobes, and they don't even appreciate it. It's a little bit between like interior designer and like Super Sweet 16. Like,
how did God not see them making it to begin with? That's what's kind of killing me. It's like, I thought you were all seeing, all knowing, all blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all seeing, all knowing, but he also basically just lives on this mountain.
To be fair, God was having to explain a lot to a 90-year-old man. I don't know if you've ever tried to help an old person learn how to check email.
Yeah.
But it takes all of your fucking patience and focus. So I can imagine that God was like, I'm gonna not care about anything else, because if he doesn't do it, I'm either gonna kill him, or it's gonna get through.
Teaching a 90-year-old
Okay.
Moses how to use an iPhone.
It's like, okay, no, Moses, you have to press open. Huh? Open?
Eh.
No, open. Hit the enter. Enter. No, that's a space bar. Hit enter.
He presses the wrong button. He presses the wrong button. The iPhone turns into a snake. Like, oh, God damn it.
For fuck's sake. All right, now we got to make another one. All right, I hope you're happy. We're going to be up here a lot. We're only supposed to be up here 4 hours. Now it's fucking day 38.
Yep. God can't make it on his own. The ancient Israelites need to go, yay, bring me 7 microchips and the finest touch shatterproof glass. Moses talks God out of killing all the Jews, pointing out, you basically already put all this work into us. This would be such a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of God being in the middle of the Jews, like an IKEA project where he's like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah. It's fine. I will turn this. We will go right back to Egypt. So help me.
So like, I will make you fucking slaves again. I mean, double slaves again.
I mean, he actually does. When Moses comes down and sees the calf and like smashes the tablets, he took the calf, burnt it in the fire, ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink it. They're all gonna get lead poisoning and shit. Like,
yeah.
You imagine shitting out molten gold? That's not good.
Jesus. Yeah, it's like you're fucking. Oof! You got to pass a really bad kidney stone now.
Yeah. Whoever hath sinned me, I will blot out of my book. Sorry, we're gonna
now I'm slowly like, if he had to smash, that means he had to go back and rewrite the whole thing again, right? The tablets.
The whole thing is that God did the initial tablets with his own finger, but because the Israelites were such party poopers, they don't get to have the God written one. Now Moses he's having his bitch do it for him.
So this is basically the story of Mormonism.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally like covering up why we don't have something direct from God.
Yeah, this is also the Mormonism thing. I just remember it from South Park. I don't actually know if it's true, but what is it?
Oh yeah, no,
John Smith or whatever.
The golden tablets.
Or Joseph Smith. Yeah, the tablets is like, oh well, God had me have to read. I have to look in this hat again. Like, wow.
Yeah. Don't look upon it. Your brains will blow up. Only mine can take it.
Yes, Jesus. Moses is the first Avenger.
What would you require of a false idol to worship it? I'm trying to think. I think a really pimped out car.
As far as a false idol?
Yeah, as far as a false idol of like, man, this is the shit. I love this thing. I want to place my hand on it and wish for good tidings.
I don't know, man. Like there's a handful of things about it, but if it would probably have to be something dumb. Like I spent the last 2 weeks trying to not spend $300 on a statue of Shin Godzilla. So I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that's it. Before that, I was ready to spend $1,400 on a kayak. I got nowhere to put a kayak, so shit. It's all worship at this point.
Oh God. All right. So God says, "Go into the land I swore." This is a problematic piece right here. "Go into the land I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I will send out an angel and drive out the people living there." So long Israeli history of moving out the locals.
It almost sounds like, we're the locals, Palestinians.
Yeah. They keep talking about the land of milk and honey. I looked it up. All fertility things. Honey was big at a ritual in Egypt. Honey was a sign of fertility, overflowing abundance. This was also long before domesticated beekeeping, so something that was like naturally very rare and only found in. Both
milk and honey are used to feed young in droves. Like milk, obviously, because we get it. Women produce milk, and also, I guess honey kind of, I don't know if this is official, but it almost feels like the equivalent of a swarm. So it's like, this is the place where we're going to make lots of us and just take shit over.
And hey, I've already said God is a big gay queen, and I guess he's a big gay queen bee to boot. So what would be
I don't know if that's true, but I don't know. At this point, I'm just riffing on that one.
What would be a modern version of milk and honey? Something that we would consider fertility and abundance. I think like Jordan 1s, need to be that's your honey right there.
Land of vodka and Netflix.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. Well, wine and Netflix, I don't know. That's
okay. God calls the Israelites a stiff-necked people. Sick burn.
oh, stiff-necked. Jesus.
Yeah. No, he's in a few chapters.
Oh, God's here now. God must be pissed. He's like roasting them now. Shut up, your stiff-ass neck.
Oh yeah,
you can't.
So it sounds like an urban guy. I'm like, man, you saw some stiff-necked motherfuckers.
Yo, I'm over here to your left. Can you look? Don't even move your shoulders. God's fucking with them. You got.
Oh god, Patrice O'Neill is God talking shit.
Yeah.
Talk about some milk and motherfucking honey. Shit.
Yeah. Milk and honey eating motherfuckers. Joe stiff ass neck. That's why you don't got no pillows.
Well, of course they have no pillows. You've been giving away the fucking linen and the fine shit to build an ark and shit, and nobody's sleeping. You're sleeping in the dirt, Israelites. Okay.
Yeah, literally, that's wow.
Oh, okay. So Moses continues to talk to God via a tabernacle that comes with storms and shit. So the people will worship it. He also wants to appear directly to Moses, and he flat out, this is where I get like, if you see my face, you'll blow up. So it has here that God says he will show him his back parts. And my note is it's seemingly more and more likely that Moses just encountered an evil, perverted wizard on the mountain that wants to show him his ass and have really decorative art spoken him, because there are paintings of God's ass. Like that is his backside. Fucking Michelangelo painted God's ass there.
That's hilarious. I love the idea of this because that means God must have been drinking with like angels and shit. Like, yo, you want to see, like, yo, watch this. I remember there was like a fucking Chuck E. Cheese ball pit story. I forget. It's somewhere on YouTube. It's one of these like top 15 things. Where this family is like taking a picture, and this guy is like through the tubes in at Chuck E. Cheese. You know how they had like the tubes with the windows and stuff?
Oh yeah, those are the shit.
It's like he sees the people keep taking pictures in the same spot, so he goes up to that area and he sticks his ass against the window, and no one is the wiser that he's just mooning someone in the back, and they're all just looking at their selfie, like enjoying it. And he just like goes up and he sees, dude, it's there. It's glorious.
God. Glorious.
I love the idea that God is just God is just one of the boys.
Oh yeah, he's just fucking around.
That's like some shit me and my friends would do. Like back in like our punk days. Like we're just gonna show our ass to somebody. Let me see some ID.
I do feel like the worst part of getting older is there's just less mooning in general.
I can't do it now, man. Oh man, it's, the hair down there is just ridiculous.
No, let's bring mooning back to Philly comedy. That's what I'm gonna do. I have a hairless ass, so I will.
Dude, I'm down. I just know yeah.
All right.
It's all right.
God even admits about what he's about to do is bad, and he drives out the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Etcerites, and destroys all their altars, images, and groves. We get again, worship no other God, because there's tons of commandments, and I mean there's tons of gods hanging out there. Oh yeah, part of me has like, yeah, so is this like, are we seeing some kind of like American like Israel idol? Like there's tons of gods and this is just what Yahweh is doing to like be the top dog, like trying to fuck around the competition, play dirty, make alliances. We get a bunch of mini commandments here involving like the breaking necks of goats and whatnot, eating unleavened bread for a week. Oh, the little thing dropped. During the 40 days and nights, Moses did not drink water or eat. He'd be dead, but okay.
Yeah, or at the very least, hallucinated most of this.
That would be a good explanation.
That's so funny. The whole like eating unleavened bread. I mean, I've had like unleavened bread. It's not terrible, but it's for sure like I can't, like, dude, you're going to be constipated eating that for a week.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like a Jewish tradition. It's like, wow, it's like part of not even Jewish, it's an ancient Israel tradition to just fucking deal with constipation. That's gotta suck.
They are a long-suffering people.
It's like nobody has X-Lax back then. It's
so Moses and God sit down, and Moses rewrites the Ten Commandments himself. When he comes down, though, because he has seen God's ass, his face is transformed and painful to look upon. He will wear a veil for the rest of his life. This is something I feel like you don't really see in like the public zeitgeist, that like, oh yeah, Moses has to wear a veil. Like, does Charlton Heston end up wearing a veil at any point in the Ten Commandments?
That's what's hilarious about that is that, dude, how awful is God's ass? It literally scarred Moses.
Oh God, he'll never unsee it. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup. It's just burns into his brain.
God's asshole is Moses's Vietnam.
That's what it is. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup. Only if once you've seen it, everybody else sees it if they look at you.
Oh my God, that's like Jesus.
All right, let's go over the 10 Commandments again. Now that we have the final version,
and
we
don't
don't know
the thing.
Moses.
And you know what? That's actually the one gripe I have with the Bible on multiple occasions. It's like, dude, you could have literally just told me this. You could have had one line up top that says this was rewritten because it was broken, and then you could have just gave me the final. We could have saved 40 fucking chapters. Yeah. This could have all been like 3 chapters if you just been like, all right, this is the final revised version. I re-record a podcast if I fuck it up the first time. Or I like take a pause and then I redo the line and then I edit it because I don't want to sound that much like an asshole. Mm-hmm. The Bible is the most unedited, stupid thing. Like, it's like, dude, it's awful how many times I have to wait. So I have to read through this and it turns out none of this first one we read was right. I got to reread it and these are the right ones. Just keep the fucking good one in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's Deeds Rants comes out next week.
Deeds Rants every Tuesday on Podbean. All right, so let's quick go down the commandments and we can talk about that shit. Have no other gods before me. Again, that implies other gods. Shall not make idols, which I mean, hey, you know what? I think that might be why they're reiterating it here, since like they've kind of done both of those things in the last like chapter.
Yeah, you shall not make idols. Yeah, Catholicism has, so many.
Yeah, tons of them.
Dude, all these trinkets.
Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Again, just dumb. None of these are.
Yeah, I've done that a few times already. Just
literally, the conversation we're having is taking the Lord's name in vain. I looked it up, and pretty much like if you're saying anything other, he's a teenage girl. If you're saying anything other than he's great and the best, then you're taking God's name in vain, and into the lake of fire you'll go.
Yeah, God's a shitty girlfriend.
Yes, he is. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Honor your father and mother. Don't murder. Okay, so we got. I feel like we get to number 6 and finally like, a practical one.
I love the Carlin philosophy behind this because it's like, well, I mean, God's never really had that much of a problem with murder. More people have died in the name of God than for any other reason.
Oh yeah, God has killed more people than anybody else. He's got the record.
Yeah.
You shall not commit adultery. God is such a cock block.
Dude, that one is actually like, wait, what is adultery? There's, again, no definition on adultery. It just says adultery. It's so vague.
Yeah. I mean, do you fuck
Same thing like sorcery. It's the same thing like sorcery. There's no definition for sorcery. You'd think maybe instead of telling me this whole story of why you wrote a shitty version of the commandments only to rewrite them later in the same fucking book, you could have just defined half the stuff and we could have. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, does that only apply to a wife? Like, can you cheat on a girlfriend? Can you keep a side piece in the.
Dude, God is a shitty podcaster. Like, the Bible is so unfocused.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place. And it's what's crazy about it is there is a narrative arc in there that, like, you know, there's been movies made about Noah and fucking, you know, Moses,
Yeah.
obviously, and they have a decent arc. You just gotta cut, you know, the 19 chapters about the pretty box God just has to have, or his super sweet 16 will be ruined.
Yeah, God made, dude, it's what was it? I remember reading Lord of the Flies, and that's how it felt sometimes, just describing everything around him. Like, I mean, the description, I guess, makes sense for what the place is, but it's like, can we just get to the fucking boys killing pigs?
Yeah. We know what we're here for, okay?
Yeah, exactly. I want to see Piggy die. I want to see somebody show up and be like, "What the fuck was wrong with you kids?" And they start crying at the end because they realize
like
they're dicks.
Well, they're dicks, but it's also kind of like if you've ever caught a little kid in the middle of doing something they know they're not supposed to, they immediately break into tears. But it's not remorse. It's like, I'm gonna be in trouble now for killing
pretty
Piggy.
much.
Yeah, I haven't seen Lord of the Flies in so long. I need to rewatch that.
Yeah.
So last three: don't steal, don't lie, don't covet. I still think don't covet is kind of bullshit, but okay.
Yeah. Again, I gotta reference Carlin. Coveting keeps the economy going.
Yeah. But again, it's just crazy. Of all the important things in the world, this book that could only be written by God and not man, and it's just like nothing about rape, nothing about, you know, don't hurt little children.
That's why I'm like, is that why it's just listed as adultery? Like, that's why I wish, like, if there was actually a definition, it's like, well, what covers adultery? Then that would be a whole. This could have still been the same amount of chapters if they just, I don't know, went into detail on the actual laws rather than tell me how they had to rewrite them because some asshole built a calf.
Yeah, I don't need the specs on like the new carpeting in God's living room for 5 chapters.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, yo, this is so fucking nice. You know what that is? That probably wasn't originally in there, but the guy who had to build the shit was like, you are putting it in there because I put so much fucking work. It's going to be timeless.
I actually mentioned we were doing this part to Neil, and I think he had been told something from some point. I know he has an aunt who is a Catholic nun that part of the reason it's in there is it's almost like to show like, oh, well, this must be true because it would be insane to like make up this level of detail. Like it's there because God is that specific. And I feel like I don't know. It's kind of, you know, when like 7-year-olds first learn reverse psychology for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you kind of get past that.
You got to remember that this shit was written back when people were willing to sit there and just read ramblings forever. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I was thinking about that. Like maybe like 100 or 200 years ago, people literally drove from town to town to give like 4 or 5 hour long speeches.
Oh yeah. Cause there was,
you know what I mean? Like
there was nothing to do.
Yeah. Literally, the guy who gave a speech before the Emancipation Proclamation apparently was standing there for like half the day. And then fucking Abraham Lincoln just mic drops him with like a 7-sentence.
Oh, yeah. That was the Lincoln Douglas debates.
Yeah. And it was just like, well, shit.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny. I always think of that.
The Bible was for sure written for people who had the time to read it.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You know how they call baseball America's pastime?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things they don't say is like that term pastime literally means like a way to pass the time. There was nothing to fucking do until like the last 50 years. We live in such an insane high level of entertainment.
Fucking, yeah, I would say Call of Duty is America's pastime if you talk to enough people.
All right, well, dude, think of like the games we used to play when we were kids, like fucking Suicide, Red Rover. Like these were all games we had to make up because there was nothing else to do. And now, like, fucking, I can play. I'm going to go on a video game and kill a person from Laos.
I remember my cousin and I, for no reason whatsoever, decided to just dig a hole one day, and that was our whole day.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was like people were like, "Why are you doing that?" Because we feel like it, and we started digging. We got to a point where it was like hard to dig, so we started like dunking water in there. Next thing, we're just in a mud pool, but we're still just fucking around digging it. Like, and it was just like it was in an apartment, so everybody was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Dude, one of my favorite memories ever is it's also because we were too old to be doing it. It was me and my cousin. He was a senior in high school. I was a junior. He had like just, or it might have been junior and sophomore. He had just gotten his license. There's this like nature trail behind his house. And we realized there's a little island that's completely inaccessible by land. So just having a little bit of money, it was a little kid idea, but we had like the money and the means to do it. We went to Walmart, bought an inflatable raft, went back there and like shimmied ourselves out just because we wanted to see what was on the other side. I fell in, my fucking phone got destroyed, but it was so fun just because we were too old to be doing it.
Yeah, it's like it's very tee-hee-hee kind of.
Yeah, it's like when you try to get those kickball games started. It's like, I love that we're doing this because it's not not a thing that really happens.
It's dude, like fucking I'm 31. I shouldn't be going outside to play. Like this is I want to.
Getting 30-year-olds to do something fun as a group is fucking impossible.
It actually makes me want, like, if there's one thing that makes me want to have kids, is that I will get to do like dumb little exploratory shit with a kid. Yeah.
Anytime. It's like, well, once the kid's old enough, anytime you want, we could be like, we're gonna go throw axes in the woods, and they have to come with you.
They're just like, fuck yeah. Yes. They're like, yeah, dude. Yeah, no, it's so funny because I remember at like 17, 18, my friend bought like ninja stars and shit, and that's what we did at some point. Was like, you want to go throw these somewhere?
Oh, dude, fucking shooting little birds with a paintball gun. So much fun. God.
That was the best. I had a BB gun and a pellet gun, whatever. And yeah, just shooting pigeons in my backyard was the shit.
Dude, me and my best friend, Matt Merziowski, we were like 15, 16. My grandmother is on a rocking chair on the front porch and we're shooting at birds. She's like, you're doing is a sin. They're just being nice, whatever. My friend Matt gets the luckiest shot ever from underneath. He shoots at a sparrow, pops the fucking thing's head off like a Pez dispenser, and it lands at my grandma's feet. I felt so bad, but it's one of the hardest I've ever laughed. Because she's like, you shouldn't be doing that. And fucking sparrow head on her. She was so mad. Like, that bird just wanted to sing and you had to kill it. It's like, you had a point, but it was so like, it was the worst way it could have happened.
Oh my God. I would say that's the BB gun episode of The Simpsons. Where like Marge Cat, you killed a bird. All right, well, fuck you. Go kill things.
Yeah. Like, all right, let's wrap this up. God gives them all the knowledge of workmanship, like just kind of abracadabras. Like, you all know how to do this stuff. They build the ark.
By the way, that's glossed over. All the workmanship stuff. That's not explained in the Bible, but Moses having to flub and redo the commandments is totally just all the things that should be in this book are not. Right.
And so they finished the arc.
Fucking Ed Wood presents Exodus.
Yeah.
It's like, why is everything done in weird narrative exposition? Sorry, I'm like, let's finish up.
Sorry. So all right, they finished the arc. Moses blesses them. I wrote this in my notes because I found it funny at the time. Exhibit declares it a pimped out arc. And
he literally goes up to God and does this.
Like, hey yo, Yahweh.
You've officially been pimped. Yeah.
God speaks. I mean, hey, it is God's ride. He's basically going to live in that while the Jews carry him all over the place. God speaks to Moses and describes how to communicate with the ark, namely, first of the month, bunch of candles, rub oil on the wood, anoint your feet, wash with water, wear holy garments. Everything needs to be just right.
Dude, God is basically like the guy with the Mercedes at a car wash, like telling everyone how to do their job. Apply 2 layers of turtle wax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, Jesus, man. We know.
If I can't see myself in those hubcaps, so smited.
So help me.
So help me. So the Israelites pack up and get moving. Again, it almost feels like this half of Exodus is just like kind of a side quest. Like, everybody just stops. You don't realize until the last thing, like, and the Israelites pack up and get moving again, carrying the ark with God in it. Like, oh, they've just been sitting around with thumbs up their asses.
This is like the fucking, Like literally the second half is just the epilogue to the fact that they got out of Egypt. Exodus is exit, which means the book should have stopped at we got out of Egypt and happily ever after.
Yeah.
But fucking somebody was like, yo, Moses was a dick, so we had to explain what this crotchety bastard did to us afterward.
Yeah. Oh god. And we still have like 2 more books with Moses in it. I
really love the idea that the entire like population of Israelites was just like, yeah, fuck Moses. After a while, we're gonna worship a calf.
Yeah, he's gone for 5 minutes. They're like, Moses ain't shit. Come on.
Like, yo, watch this. We're gonna build a calf. Yo, dude, he hasn't eaten or anything, so he thinks he's gonna go see God's face. Aaron, why don't you go fucking moon him? Go see what happens. Like somebody just popped their ass out, like at him. Like,
yo, Aaron, listen, we know you're cool. What's up with your fucking brother?
Yeah, what's up with this fucking dude? He's like, look, man, he got us out. What do you want? You just fucking.
I'm just sick of looking at his fucking face. I mean, oh, yo, could we pretend his face is like all powerful now? And if we're all like, I can't see,
yeah,
dude, we could get him to wear a fucking veil.
They fucking, yeah, dude, yo, get him. You will make him wear a beekeeper outfit in the fucking desert. Dude, it'll be the funniest. Don't be gay, Aaron. Come on, just get it.
Yeah. Aaron, it'll be so funny.
Yeah, be a pal.
Yeah. I'll give you my ration of mana. Oh, Moses. Oh God, Moses. I can't see. Like they're all just gaslighting Moses.
Yo, Aaron, I will give you all of my gold if you build an idol.
Yeah.
It's like your friend saying, I'll give you $1 if you go touch that girl's ass or whatever. They're just fucking with Moses.
Oh god! Just two fucking pranksters in the Israelite tribe have set the course of human history.
Yo, Aaron, I dare you. Go walk up to Moses and be like, yo, you're not gonna believe this. Two shiksas just stole my truck. Like,
can you believe it? 2 shiksas.
2 of them. Like he's just.
Oh god! Okay.
I think this is slowly turning into the prankster. Like they're just pranking Moses.
Biblical pranksters.
The original version is like, dude, fucking Moses thought he was talking to God, but it was just me with like a big old husk, like making my voice sound different. He's like, yo, can I see your face, God? And I just showed him my ass.
Hey, Q, throw down the serpent snake. Throw down the serpent. Ah, shit, he's doing it with it. Okay. Whew. All right, well.
So Moses realizes they're pranking him, and that's why he breaks the tabernacle. Like, fuck you guys.
I do all this nice shit for you. He wants to kill you guys. I'm saving you all the time.
Hey, yeah, I know you got us out of Egypt, but what have you done for me lately?
Exactly. Oh god. All right. Well, that wraps it up, man. That is the book of Exodus.
Yeah. Holy shit. This is it is holy shit, I guess.
After reading the Bible, I'm going to go and take a holy shit as soon as we're done with this.
Dude, yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get through the whole thing, but you literally reminded me of you know what it is? I've read the first 5 books of the Bible, or at least the first 2, like in class, and it was so much that I every time I've read it, I've stopped paying attention. It's like watching a movie that everyone's like, this movie's awesome, but then you get to like the middle parts, it sucks. And it's just like, can I just get back to the fucking fun parts?
So, you know what's, because I don't want to put a lot of work on whoever the guest is, I'll often tell them, like, you can read like the Wikipedia summary, I'll read the actual thing. But literally, if you read the Wikipedia summary on this, like this entire half of Exodus is like 4 sentences. Like they gloss over like, all this shit.
It's like blah, 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 skip. There's like, there's like 2 fucking chapters or 4 chapters just on how nice this altar or whatever looks.
Yeah. It's like, it's the Ark, the Golden Calf, 10 Commandments, first draft, 10 Commandments, second draft. They leave. So
yeah, pretty much. Then, they take over Palestine. They've been fighting about that. I need to stop making that comment. I feel like I'm going to get like attacked.
Hey, no, I'll say it as somebody married to a Jew, I'm well aware that, dude, it is weird watching like very left people to just be like you fucking doing everything but saying like those fucking Jews.
This is it's nice to know that they just fucking Exodus is basically a long form version of how they invented gentrification.
That's right. People come in with their nice arcs. They drive up the rents.
They literally did like this handcrafted ark and calf and tabernacles, and they just started putting that everywhere. It's like, dude, now there's a fucking coffee shop on every block.
Yeah, it's like another fucking ark brewery. Really?
Yeah.
Is that what we need here? Do we need another one?
Dude, how many unleavened bread bakeries are they gonna make on this block?
Oh god, I used to make a living selling yeast that's dried up in this town.
Fucking everybody with their linens, with their skinny linen pants or whatever.
All right, Dorian, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me, Jesse.
Yeah, tell us again where we can find you on social media and the podcast.
Yeah, that's at Dirty Deeds, DURRDEEDEEDZ. Deeds Ranch should be dropping this Tuesday. Dorian Vasquez on YouTube. I'll be at Helium this coming Wednesday and the following Wednesday. And there's other things. I just can't think of them all right now. Oh, also look out. We might be recording and dropping more sketches soon. That's me and the WoW TV group, and possibly outside of the WoW TV group. Don't tell anybody, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, we'll see. We're writing right now. We're trying to start putting out more content.
Nice. All right, cool. So guys, go check all that stuff out. Again, Dorian, thank you for being here. Gonna end this.
Thanks for having me.
And every episode, I'm going to stop recording, but you and I can keep talking for a little bit. So bye, everyone.